Hi everyone, I am going to start the exposition. Politics Encomienda. The encomienda consisted of a grant made by the King of Spain to Spanish subjects who collect the tax or personal service that the indigenous people had to pay to the crown in exchange for being evangelized. The encomendero was supposed to provide spiritual ideas. However, the encomendero committed many abuses for the forced the indigenous people to pay excessive taxes and work on took away from their freedom. Viceroy, the king's representative in the colonies with executive and judicial functions. Viceroyalty was a form of government established for administrating the Spanish colonies in America. The viceroyalty was established in 1535 as a form of government. Courts consisted of a chairman and several judges. They were established to neutralize the conqueror's way of government. Cabildos. They were the municipalities' authorities made up by mayors and aldermen, like the municipal police nowadays. Municipalities were responsible for managing the finances of the city, distributing land between neighbors, organizing police corps and the military in case of war, licensing shops, and controlling the prices of items for protection of the population. Governors. They were responsible for the political and administrative management of the provinces and kingdoms. Is like the third place from a king and viceroy. Evangelization process. The conquest of the Mesoamerican people was also spiritual through the evangelization, which laid the foundations of new religious practices. The church had an important role in this. The principal tasks from the missionaries were language, read and writing, teach customs and traditions, art, music, translate the Bible, spread the ideas of the Bible, education. Festivities and celebrations. Cultural diversity, traditions, uses, and customs are practices that are recognized in the community and have been transmitted from parents to the children for generations. The ways of thinking, acting, and expressions, what they call beliefs, are generally found linked to the tradition and custom. For example, November 2, in which the people celebrated their dead family by doing an altar and putting on it in the things that person liked when he or she was alive. Some transformation from the countryside agrarian crops. Europeans introduced wheat, sugar, cane, rice, citrus fruits, coffee, grapes, olives, silkworm. They brought animals like horses, sheep, goats, chickens, pigs, cows, most of it for food source. New farming techniques will animal use principally from transportation. New economy activities such as mining, which began 10 years after the conquest, with gold panning cities in the region that had been the Mexican Empire. Trade. The international trade of New Spain. The Spanish monopoly on trade at the large amounts of taxes encouraged contraband, which, together with the pirate attacks suffered by the Spanish ships on their way to the metropolis, they provoked business obstacles in Spain. Pirates and privateers. Pirates were criminals without a national flag and without the permission of the state, who assaulted and robbed vessels on the high seas. The Spanish ones were the most content. The privateer were the crew of vessels who signed a contract with the state under the flag of the country. They attacked merchant ships from other countries, particularly from Spain. The House of Trade was created by the Spanish crown in Seville in 1503. Its purpose was to authorize the entry and exit of ships and passengers from the Indies. Products. New Spain exported to Europe products such as silver, gold, snuff, vanilla, cochinilla, indigo, and leather. In return, it provides wine, oil, fabrics, vinegar, quicksilver, or mercury, soap, and ironware. Also silk, spices, incenses, myrrh, perfumes, porcelain, and other products were also taken from the Orient to Europe via New Spain by a special trade route from China to the port of Manila to the Philippines, and then to the port of Acapulco on the west coast of Mexico. This route was called the Silk Road. Population and migration. Migration is to leave the place of residence to move to another city or country due to socio-economic or personal reasons. Migration have generated migrating, conquest, and colonialism, such as the African slaves were brought during the 16th and 17th centuries to work as slaves in agriculture and mining. When they came to New Spain, they did the heaviest jobs due to reduction of indigenous people. Change in the society. The social classes changed and with them also the races. Mestizo is a son of the Spaniard and the indigenous person. The mulatto was the son of a Spaniard and the African person. A Sambo was the son of an indigenous and African person. The castizo was the son of a Spaniard and mestizo. The Creoles or Criollos were the children of Spanish people born in America and New Spain. They had access to education and some minor position in politics. The caste system was based on the racial origin, the level that distinguished members of New Spain society. Depending on your social position, was the way of which people treat you. Versions of universities. From the 16th century, there existed in Spain several institutions of higher studies, mostly managed by monastic. Others they were of confessional and Catholic, and one of their priorities was teaching and spreading the doctrine of the Catholic Church. The Royal and Political University was to have the same privilege as the University of Salamanca in Spain. However, it was not open until January 23, 1553. The three subjects were Latin, rhetoric, dialect, civil and canonic law, and theology. Their philosophy, mathematics, and medicine were added, as well as the Otomi and Nahuatl languages. Other institutions were the Colegio de Santa Cruz de Tlatelolco and the Jesuit colleges, where education was exclusive for men. Finally, the Mexican Mint House was founded in 1536 under Viceroy Don Antonio de Mendoza. It was an institution dedicated to the minting of silver and copper coins. We conclude that Mexico had several changes. These changes helped to create the republic that we know today. All their traditions was a fusion between Spain and Mexico.